We're going to get started with West Virginia. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Disappointing loss, disappointing end of the season, but I'm proud of our guys. We fought, we tried. You know, that's all I can ask for out of these guys. They laced it up and they tried. You know, just came up a little bit short.
We have microphones on either side of the room. If you could raise your hand, we'll get one to you.
Rick Hunter, Blue and Gold News. Coach, I mean, just how limited were you? Not only 3, but 4 offensive starters down. How much of that limit?
I can make a bunch of excuses. I mean, we played a good team. You know, these guys were, you know, give Coach Babers credit that, you know, they've played well all year. They've got, you know, 3 losses. They're 10-3. They, you know, they do a good job. And you know, they have 1 loss to 1 CFP team and another loss to another CFP team, you know, so give them credit. You know, they've been giving up some stuff all year, but they got real good in turnovers. They got real good in red zone defense. They did a good job on 3rd down. That's what they've done all year. It helps to have all your guys, but, you know, I thought we had good practices and we tried hard, and that's all I can ask out of our guys.
Sorry for that, Coach. We're also joined by wide receiver David Sills. Go right back here.
Coach, you did face a good opponent out there, but for the first 3 quarters, I mean, 7 lead changes, y'all were hanging in there. What do you think worked best? What was the bright spot in the game tonight for you guys?
Proud of our coaches and our players for, you know, having a good game plan. You know, and we moved the ball effectively. We just didn't finish drives very well. Is probably the biggest thing.
Coach, you had mentioned not being able to finish those drives. Syracuse, they did manage to stop you 4 different times in the red zone. What were they doing so differently in the red zone when you were before picking up yards in bunches?
Well, they play good defense. So they've done that all year. They were a top 10 team in the country in red zone defense. So they got a style of play that they believe in. They you know, they give up some yardage and they give up some plays, but they don't panic on that. And the way they play as a team, they're used to a lot of possessions and they're used to a fast-paced game. They've done a good job of instilling in their defensive guys' heads to just keep playing no matter what happens. And they did a good job of stopping us in the red zone. I don't know what else to say.
Over on the right.
Coach, could you just assess a little bit Jack's play there in the game tonight? Your quarterback.
I'm proud of him. You know, he's had how many snaps this year?
Many.
10, 11. I thought his demeanor was good. His work ethic was good. You know, when we put Trey in there, I thought he went in there and enjoyed playing the game. You know, we're obviously a different club, and again, I could give you a bunch of excuses. I'm not interested in saying any of them, but. You know, I think what happened throughout the course of this last month will help us become a better team moving forward.
Back over here.
Coach, how quickly before the game did you know you'd be without Marcus Sims?
Yeah.
How soon was that before the game that you knew?
He hadn't done anything since Oklahoma. He's dealing with some things, and he's got to get right.
Any other questions for West Virginia?
For David, what were you seeing out of the Syracuse defense? It seems like they did a pretty good job of keeping you bottled up for periods of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Coach Holgorsen said, they're a very good team. 2 of their losses came from the two CFP teams, you know, and they're coached really well. So, you know, they kept, you know, a lot in front of them. You know, I think they were kind of game planning, you know, against our pass game and stuff like that. So they you know, they did a good job taking nothing away from them. You know, I think us as players could have, you know, helped Jack out a little bit more, you know, when the ball's in the air and protecting up front. But you know, that's on us. We gave everything we had, and it was a little bit short.
David, it may be hard to reflect, it's only been 5 minutes, but look back on the college career and just what your thoughts are now that you're moving on to the next step.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to reflect on that right now, you know, so soon after a loss. But you know, my goal after this game was to you know, leave my mark on West Virginia. You know, I think I know they gave me an opportunity. I tried to make the most of it, and you know, I appreciate everything from this university, you know, this state, and the coaching staff and team. You know, they trusted in me. You know, obviously had a wild story kind of getting to where I am now, but they trusted in me, and you know, I owe it all to them.
He's left his mark on the program. He's going to play for a long time too, so we certainly appreciate him as well.
Dana, believing in momentum as you do, was this, I guess, what does this do for you next year, or is this unique enough with some of the things you don't want to mention that it's hard to put a ton of stock into the game in the weeks before it?
Yeah, it's disappointing to end the season with the loss. I mean, I've already said it. I don't need to say it again. But you know, the one thing about, and a lot of people are like, this bowl game really don't matter or anything like that. I couldn't disagree more. I mean, we've got better as a football team, as a program. A lot of our young guys got to play ball, got to practice for a couple of weeks, and got to play ball. Sam James, Bryce Wheaton, Mike Brown, T.J. Banks, Trey Lowe. Quincy Hall. I mean, those are a lot of guys that are redshirt and that had an opportunity to be able to play in a great bowl game. So, you know, it's always nice to be able to end the year with a win, but we know we had a good year. You know, and people could be disappointed all they want to. We know we had a good year. We battled hard all year long, and we came up a little bit short. Welcome to big-time football.
Over on the right.
About Evan and his performance tonight in the kicking game?
Yeah, I thought he did well. Had a lot of opportunities. Took advantage of them.
Notice you dialed up a couple things for Trayvon in the passing games as he played quarterback in high school. Is that something specifically bowl, or had that sort of been floating around the playbook all year?
I don't know, we had some fun with it, you know. Had some fun with it, but there are a couple plays that made sense, you know, that the one was close, and then, you know, the second we were kind of in desperation mode there at the end, just trying to search for something. I would have liked to have been able to set that one up a little bit better, but they've both been solid. They were both solid, you know, plays in our opinion, and just didn't quite work out.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, David.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you.